What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, Uncle Rizza, as they call me on the sticks. Today's review, today's topic, Project Cars. Now, this is the short review for those of you who really don't care to get into the details. The long one you can find on the channel, and of course it's going to be on both channels. The long one's about 20 plus minutes. This is the short and sweet version. And if you just want to know if to buy it or not, then here you go. So Project Cars, there's this consensus across the land that the game is indeed the shit. And I sort of agree, depending on what angle you're coming from. But mostly I agree. Let's start with the graphics. Unanimous decision by everyone who's ever touched this game, played it or looked at it. It is beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're coming from the PC with some $800 graphics card to the Xbox One or the PS4. The game is just beautiful. They did a really good job. It's definitely, you can tell it was built for the next gen, and I really applaud them for not trying to push this down to the last generation consoles. I don't want to see what that looks like. Yeah, but the game is beautiful. The cars are very well done, very detailed. The destruction model looks awesome. The way parts fly off, wheels fly off, it's all pretty dope. And then you've got the sound. The sound is amazing in this game. The sound just gets better and better with all of these racing games. You know, I think the current king was, well, for me at least, was Grid, but this is by far the best sounding game on the market. And it's an addicting sound. It just makes you want to race more and more and push the car harder and harder. It'll get you in trouble sometimes. Definitely will get you in trouble. The gameplay, 100% simulator. I don't know what your measuring mark is. I haven't been paying attention to the simulators on the market, like, in the PC world, because that's where you'll find those really hardcore sims. For me, more along the lines of Forza and Gran Turismo, this game is definitely a lot more involved in those games. When you're talking physics and simulation, it's just an amazing thing. You know, traction control, you can really feel it working. You see how it takes power away from one side of the car and add it to the other wheel, so on and so forth. It really is a true sim. You can put the real damage on, and you hit a wall, your wheels will fly off. Your hood will fly off. You'll see the engine. It's definitely, I think, what the benchmark should be for the next generation sims. And I hope Forza and Gran Turismo really come hard, because these guys are not playing with their sim models. So in terms of gameplay as well, we talk about career. The career mode is pretty dope. It allows you to jump back and forth between only what you want to play. It doesn't force you to race certain cars to unlock other cars. You just get in and do what you need to do. But what's dope about it, and I think adds to that real simulator feel, is the restrictions on each race depending on the class. So some GT3 races, it'll be a 7-lap race, but you're required to pit at least once or you'll be disqualified. Even at the beginning, you get the 3 red light countdown, then the green light to go. You can jump that. I mean, you'll get disqualified, but you can jump that. You can't just hold the gas, because the car will move. So little dope things like that really adds to the simulator feel in this game. There's a lot of tuning for the cars. Maybe not to the extent that we are used to in Forza or Gran Turismo, but there is a fair bit of tuning that actually does have a lot of effect on your car. You probably won't even figure out what's best for you until well into 20 hours in this game, and you can sort of say, okay, you know what? Let me see if I can make some changes that'll help me increase my lap time. So that's dope. There are some problems coming down to the multiplayer. On the console versions, there seems to be a lack of polish or even attention, particularly the Xbox One. The PC and the PlayStation 4 versions have a lot of online options that the Xbox are not, and it's sort of sad to see that. There's also missing options like the ability to search for a particular race based on assists. So let's say you want to, you're playing on a controller and you want to get in a race where assists are allowed, because that's damn near the only way that you can play this game. You can't do it. You can't really specify that. So that's an issue. Something like that's become the norm in console gaming and in online gaming in general. So it's sort of sad to see it not included here, or these guys just didn't pay attention. There are some frame rate issues across the board for the PlayStation and the Xbox version. The PlayStation less so than the Xbox. There's ton of issues on the Xbox. I'd have to say the best experience on the console is to be had on the PlayStation version. They seem to be a lot less issues there, and I'm having a hard time really understanding if it is due to the fact that these guys just did not pay much attention to the Xbox version. It almost feels like they didn't even play the damn thing. But the last point I want to hit home in this short review, and if you want a lot more, guys, please check out the long review. Cover a lot of detail in there. But the last point I want to hit home is this game is definitely made for a racing wheel, and you can and will be frustrated trying to play with a controller. There's going to be some time invested for you to really tweak the controller settings and get it right to where it's comfortable and you can compete online, or even just compete getting off the goddamn start line with the cars. But never fear, because I will be doing a video later where I pretty much do the controller settings and a few other options on the console to make life easier. So look out for that video. But yeah, this game is definitely built for a steering wheel. If you don't have one, beware. So my overall thoughts of this game, I thought the game was so dope, and I still think it's dope, but a lot of the issues and bugs that's happening in the concept around the developer not taking the time to dial in the controller settings on the console, these things sort of weigh it down. And I get it, because Slightly Matched Studios, the guys that made this game, they're a relatively small house. They don't have the big money budget. I think it's amazing what they've accomplished and how polished the PC version is, but there's still a lot of bugs to be squashed, and it's a lot. You can check out the forums to really see what's going on, and once again, check out that long review for the entire thing. My name is Uncle RZA. This is Ignorant Gamers, or Lifestyles Defined, depending on where you're seeing this. I'm out of here. Peace. For me, the career mode is what makes this game a simulator. It's really what gives it its identity. So, for instance, if you pick like a GT3 race or what have you, some of those races got some very strict restrictions. And the key word here is restrictions.